Good evening, friends. God bless you. Today we are going to look at the commandments and the grace. There are 72 times, nearly 72 times in Bible, it is written that you keep the Lord's commandments. In the purpose of keeping the Lord's commandments, that the favor of God may come on you, that you will find blessings in whatever you are doing, and you have to keep these commandments. However, that was never God's plan. God wanted to provide grace from the beginning, but people says no, we wanted a law, and that's how they got the law. God wanted to be their king and ruler, and they says no, we want our own king, our own ruler, and that how the rulers and kings came to Israel. So God always wanted to provide the better things for the human, and people always relying on their own ability and strength to earn the blessings and favor. And we fail miserably. History is the evidence that we never achieved what God wanted to give us by our own strength. And God knew that from the beginning. We are living still we are living in a broken world. This world is still not completely redeemed. We are living in a time of grace. One day Jesus will come and establish his kingdom, but until then we are still living in a fallen world. So let us look at the commandments. So there are 10 commandments, we call it, written in Exodus and Deuteronomy, Exodus 20 and Deuteronomy 6. You will be able to find those 10 commandments. Deuteronomy 5. The 10 commandments, out of 10 commandments, first 4 commandments are related to how we have a relationship with God, how we should have responded to God, and the remaining 6 commandments, how we should have a relationship or how we should love each other, our fellow human being. And that is why when some of the teacher came and asked Jesus that what is the greatest commandment, so Jesus combined all these commandments and said that in Mark 12, 29, 31, and Jesus answered him, the first of all the commandment is, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. This is the first commandment, and the second is like, namely this, you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is none other commandment greater than this. So as I said, that Jesus is summarizing up all these commandments in these two about how we should have a relationship with God and how we should have a relationship with others. However, God knew that we are not going to keep this commandment, and it is like God is finding a way how I can bless the people. God doesn't want to punish. Even people themselves ask for the law, ask for the king. God, out of his abundant grace and mercy, wanted to help people, that they will have the freedom, they will have a life, they will have a joy and happiness. And that is why if you read Jeremiah 31 verse 30 to 33, God says that, particularly verse 33, this is the covenant I will make with the people of Israel after that time. So that time is now our time. After Jesus came and died, here declares the Lord, I will put my law in their mind. God knew that my people will never be able to keep the laws. So God said, I will put my law in their minds and write in their hearts. I will be their God and they will be my people. So God is going to the extreme end. He wants to bless us. And that is why I said that, okay, I will do this. You remember in the laws, it is always thou shall not, thou shall not, thou shall not. In a grace, God says, I will, I will, I will. You remember first time when the law was given, 3,000 people died. And first time when second Pentecost came in a book of Acts, 3,000 people saved. In a law time, God told Moses that remove your sandal because you are standing on holy ground. Under grace, when the prodigal son comes home, Father says, put a sandal on his feet. And Jesus himself washed the feet of his disciples. Friends, God's grace is so big that Lord will never able to achieve what God wanted to do through his grace. And that is why let us look little deeper into at least the 10 commandments. The first commandment, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of land of Egypt. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not. That is all the burden. The first 10 commandments has a burden on human to keep the law. Under grace, God is taking initiative. So if you turn to Jeremiah 32:38, they will be my people and I will be their God. Now God is taking initiative and says that, all right, I will be their God. Second commandment, it says that for I, the Lord your God, am zealous God, visiting the iniquity of their father on children to the third and fourth generation. It says that you shall not make for yourself carved image. And then go onwards, it says that I am a zealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children or to their third and fourth generation. Well, in Ezekiel 18:2, God says about the time that we are living in a grace time. What do you mean by repeating this probe concerning the land of Israel? The fathers have eaten sour grapes and the children's teeth are set on edge. Land of Israel, saying, the fathers eat the sour grapes, but the children's teeth are set on edge. As I live, declare the Lord, you are surely not going to use this. God says that first, the second commandment, you should not have another carving image in front of me, otherwise I will punish your children and their children, third and fourth generation. Under grace, God says they will not use this again. And when you know that Jesus died on the cross, he tests the sour grapes and says that it is finished. Third commandment, you shall not take the name of Lord your God in vain. Well, that is, like I said, it's all you should not. You should not. Turn to Matthew 6:9. It says like this. Jesus himself is saying that, say this way, our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Jesus says that. In law, it says you should not take your Lord's name in vain. And Jesus here says that wherever you are, you call God as your Father. Our Father who are in heaven. Right? Jesus says that do call this way. The fourth commandment, keep the Sabbath holy. So it is all burden is on man. Where Matthew 12:8, under grace, Jesus said, for the Son of Man is the Lord of Sabbath. Jesus said, come to me. As long as you are with me, I am Lord of Sabbath. Don't worry about it. You are covered. Friends, and then the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the last 6, honor your father, mother, you shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness, you shall not covet your neighbor's house. These all are related to how you relate with the other people. And then in Jesus, in John 1:16 says, out of his fullness we have all received grace in place of grace. Because we will not be able to keep everything. So Jesus summons for all the the relationship we have to keep with others according to law, Jesus says that you will get out of my abundance grace in place of grace. Go and look at the seashore. Have you seen the waves comes one after waves? So the waves are keep replacing. So whenever you feel that you are inadequate, if you fall short in all these remaining commandments, God says that don't worry, you will get a grace after grace. Like one wave of grace comes, you lied, one wave of grace came. You second time lied, another wave of grace came. As long as you have received your Jesus, your Lord and Savior, the grace after grace is enough to carry you through. Friends, Jesus, God Himself is trying and going extreme end to bless you so that you don't have to struggle to earn His favor. I hope today you will stop struggling to earn favor by your own good deeds only. Believe in Him, come to Him, give yourself life to Him, and see what He can do to your life. He really loves you, and He cares for you, and He wants to bless you. God bless you, and thank you.